I don't know anymore. Like,
Who
basically,
knows?
both of these teams seem pretty even throughout the match. The thing is, LNG has a problem closing things out early. They have not drafted team comps that close it out early. And WE has great late game team fighting, especially when Mystic gets online. So, what I want to see from LNG right now is, pick SFM a better jungler for the early game. Pick Flandre potentially, either the Nico or the Cannon. Try to have like a 3 to 5k gold lead by the time 20 minutes rolls around, because you can do that against WE. They are vulnerable in the early game. They have no early game, as I said before.
Sure, and I'm really liking already the Tilt Elise ban going out there from Flanger, but
Yeah, that was
something that's interesting to me is we're still seeing this potential 3 jungle ban from WE. They've already taken Sejuani, Rek'Sai, and there it is again. Olaf off the table.
That's 5 jungles banned, and LNG immediately jump to the Aatrox again.
I wonder what they'll pick second and third. Oh,
yeah,
good lord.
at this point, like, oh, Yumi's up.
Yumi Sivir is available.
Oh my god.
But do you even have to get the Sivir now? Because you're okay with going like Yumi Ezreal or something. Is it better to just take the Sylas now?
I think the Sylas might be a good decision. Or a jungler, because LNG can still
you do
pick
have
away
a pinched
junglers.
pool, yeah.
LNG can still pick away junglers.
I just think the Sylas has to be taken. Maybe the Akali.
Is fine. To just like once you get the server, to just run it out. Of course, LNG can pick away the server right now.
Sure,
that is definitely a possibility.
I think if LNG take the Sivir, then you're leaving either the Akali or the Sylas available to be picked or banned, and then WE can just take Xayah or Ezreal. Those are 2 champions that go really well with the Yumi anyway.
Yeah, server is getting taken away. I'd like actually to see the Karma being picked up by WE right here for the mid lane. Just get the AoE speed up that Yumi needs to get to really get access to a lot of people with the final chapter. But we are going to see a very similar draft from LNG so far.
Yeah, I do like the idea of the Karma, and denying that one away as well. Take that away. You don't want to play versus Karma Sivir. I do wonder how the damage of the team starts to look, and do you want you're then guaranteeing your Aurelia to get counterpicked if you pick your mid laner now? And I don't know how I feel about picking an ADC right now. Your jungle pool is incredibly pinched.
Yeah. I mean, LNG just can just send the Aatrox jungle. I don't want them to send the Aatrox jungle, but if I think at this point the best strategy is to just ban out a couple more junglers and send LBE on their way with a really low priority jungler. So if you see a Kali ban coming through, they don't want to play against that again. I can see that.
Understandable.
Last game, it was pretty lucky that they didn't have to do a lot against it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they can just start spam banning out junglers. I think putting Aatrox in the jungle isn't terrible because he has I think the rough matchup, the rough end of the stick versus Aurelia.
This is probably going to be Jarvan Rek'Sai banned.
Rek'Sai already banned.
Rek'Sai's already banned. So
Zin's out.
They could even potentially ban a mid laner just to get counters for Sylas out. Potentially the Ryze is still on the board, for example.
Oh, yeah. So the Zen Zhao is, I think, would probably be the ban here. But like you said, there are a few mid laners to take away. And then if the Zen Zhao is banned, what does he play? I'm thinking maybe even Vi, but that's only because it's something I'm obsessed with.
Karthus is also... Oh, wait, the Skarner is still...
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, I did too.
Skarner Yumi?
Skarner, yeah, that's brilliant. Skarner Yumi, and then give us the Karma on top of that. That would be juicy, but it seems like they might have different plans here, as we are gonna see the Lee Sin locked in. Ooh. It is a Beishang special. Let's not underestimate that. Beishang likes his Lee Sin.
Okay. I'm interested to see how this one now fits in, because I feel like when you have the Yumi, you really want something big at the front of your team. Lee Sin doesn't fit that description, but like you said, Karma could be the possibility, as Lux is the hover. Might be locked in. Yep, Lux.
Yeah.
Ahead and locked in. Could be support, could be mid.
Civil Lux is a very good lane into anything that is Yumi.
Hmm.
So I think it's going to be support Luxia, and they're gonna potentially pick up another front line, or at least, something that can put out a lot of burst damage in the mid lane.
Why is
There
that
we
though?
go.
Why is the Sivir Lux good into Yumi?
Just offers very good wave clear. Lux has more range than the Yumi a lot of the times. She can just back off when the Q comes out from the Yumi and then go back forwards, lock somebody down with the light binding. It's just overall really nice, and Silver is just very good for just clearing waves, and Yumi can't really help you with that much.
Yeah, it's one of her great weaknesses to be sure. As we look down bot lane, we're actually seeing Cleanse being the hover for Mystics, and no TP, but of course then Ignite and Heal there for missing.
Yeah, I think the cleanse is a good decision, especially into
Mhm.
the Nico and the light binding, of course, from
Yeah.
the Lux.
Yeah,
So
if you get slapped by those roots late game, you are done for. And they are
yeah,
pretty long range, and they go through your front line, so understandable.
but it overall, like, despite the Aatrox coming through in the jungle, this is a bit more early game focused. This can, you know, do a lot come level 6 with the final spark over the wall and stuff like that. They have tools to do a lot of things in this game.
Oh, we'll have to see if they're able to effectively utilize those tools. But if we go from just comp alone, who do you think is taking this?
Based on comp alone, I just can't see WE taking
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Uh, it's just overwhelmingly stacked on LNG's side right now. Sure,
I
you
guess
have
so.
like yeah, sorry, Nico versus Rise is pretty much even. Silas should just about do fine against the Aurelia, and botlane Azura and Duan should absolutely crush Mystic and missing in this lane. So really, what you have to look at is Beishang trying to get his solo laners ahead right now, trying to maybe get more dives, more dives, more dives.
Well, you say obviously, LNG have the hefty power picks, right?
Yeah.
They've got the Aatrox, even though it is in the jungle. It's the Sivir Lux, the Silas, everything they want really. But you know what WE have? They have the magic, right? The Rise and Lee Sin, newcomers to this series. Everything else, the Nico actually new as well, but most of LNG's comp we've seen before. This is 9-11 Rise though,
Yeah. What
but
I
that's
really like with this comp compared to the comp they had last time with the Akali top is that the glacial Nico gives it even more chase down potential for both Plex and SFM. And SFM had been struggling to actually, access the backline, get in range, just with a Sivir ult. So getting the Nico slows on top of that might just give him the movement speed he needs to find some kills.
all right. Well, already a bit of action coming out here, and the smite was used by SFM, but he did not hit the level up. I think a lot of the creeps were taken by Flandra there. That is rough
Yeah,
for SFM. He uses the smite. He's not going to have that when it comes to soloing his camps. And Aatrox is
yeah.
not good single target when he only has the talisman.
Just tanking the Raptors, not that much. To be fair, the Raptors are relatively good for Lee Sin because he can clear them really easily with a crippling strike. But I don't know.
This is just a really, really rough time for SFM. He's hit level 2 now. The thing is, he does his level 1 so slowly, especially versus Blue, because Blue has extra armor, right? He's okay when it comes to clearing red, but I think that's something that Beishan could have realized, could have recognized, and should be able to look for and invade. Maybe he clears these out recalls and then runs straight to the top side, because it's just not an option for SFM to take that camp at level 1.
Yeah, maybe go for the double skull crabs as well.
Oh, double crab, of course. A joy for any jungler to acquire.
Yeah. But looking at this top lane, Flandre, of course, with the early clear advantage, Poss needs some levels to really, get those bounces
Sure,
up.
it's he can like he can take the bounces. He's choosing not to, just trying to preserve his mana a little bit. But this is double buff Lee Sin versus no buff Aatrox. However, no prio in mid, no prio in bot, so that has to feel real rough. But meanwhile,
Oh,
Poss
here we
flashing on in,
go.
and I said mana, but the tonic pop is going to get him enough for one overload. Can he
Uh,
get the second?
one more.
Oh, not able to find it. Forcing himself to stand still to cast that spell flux means that he is not in range to secure. And now a very, very aggressive double crab looks here for SFM. And Beishang had so much opportunity here in the early game, but not respecting the prio that the civil lane's going to have, and a lot of it is given up.
Early back for Flandre is going to be able to pick up that Dark Steel, and it's going to maintain at least a bit of a CS lead here.
Yeah, keep a little something in his pocket. And also, I feel like it's important to just to note another reason that he couldn't contest anything on the bot side, him being Beishang, is because a very early pot was used during that invade of GA, even though he only took basically, the damage from the chains and the passive from Plex into Bone Shield as well. Still threw out one of his corrupting pot charges, meaning he got chunked out, meaning he had to recall out of that lane right as that play was going on. So good coordination from LNG there. But now SFM is just chilling.
He's waiting.
All right,
Gets found.
Foss knows. He knows something's fishy. Although, to be honest, it's actually fine. That gank works out really well for SFM and LNG, because look at the wave.
Yeah, the wave is stacking up now for Flandre, and as well, he just waited for his camps to come back. He can now actually take his buffs plus a couple of camps and be on his way to actually, having some gold.
Yeah, so gold is something that is recommended by most players of Legend League. Yeah, quite partial to it.
92% of all league players recommend gold.
What about the other 8%?
They recommend LMAX or something.
They invest in Bitcoin. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. The thing is, like, Aatrox has some incredible early clear. Let's not forget that. If he, that's what puts him above other junglers, even in the early game. Sometimes he can get to his level 6 fast. He can be very devastating when it comes to trades. He just can't gank that easily. So you really need to get something done to actually outvalue him in the early game.
Yeah, his ganks aren't great. He has good counter ganks, of course. Nice little skirmishes, but Plex really doesn't want the TA to recall. Okay. Not sure about that one, but now this is a very rough time to be Beishang, because you have no prior bot and your mid lane has just been forced out of lane, does not have teleport. Could go rough.
Yeah. And you're level down as well. Skirmish is not quite out for SFM yet, so that's like the only saving grace you have. This might come in through.
Yeah, level up is secured, so it is now 5 for the Lee Sin, but no skirmishing smite, meaning that Aatrox has the advantage through that longsword. Looks like they don't want to take this trade. Oh, fat Realm Warp coming out from Poss. 1v9 player.
Yeah.
Interesting to know that he doesn't go for the tier.
Yeah, the level 6 Realm Warp is... Oh, he's doing double mana crystal? Wait, what?
Okay, all right.
Questionable decisions right now. I guess those are for like both the Lost Chapter and the...
Well, Lost Chapter builds out of 2? Or is it 1?
No, Lost Chapter builds out of 1 plus the
2
Fairy
tomes.
Charm.
No, Lost Chapter is Amp Tome and Mana Crystal, but I don't remember which one it's 2 of. Maybe it's 2 Amp Tomes. That seems more reasonable. 2 Amp Tomes, 1 Crystal, but...
No, I think it's 1 and 1.
No, it's definitely 3 items, and 2 of them are the same.
For Tom?
For Lost Chapter?
It's for Lost Chapter, yeah.
Yeah.
Am I dumb?
I mean, you said it.
I should be. I feel like that should be way cheaper.
No, it's 1300 gold.
Okay.
It's, yeah, and so when you combine the items, you're basically spending either 900 or about 1k, and it's like 265 or something for the.
Yeah, I guess
Oh,
it's
I'm a
one.
genius! I remember that it ends in 35, I think. Oh no, yeah, the amount of gold that you spend ends in 30.
Yeah, genius.
So that means that that means that the two you're buying 2 amp tomes. Oh, but what if it ends in a 5? What if I'm wrong?
Yeah,
Oh god.
but
Oh
yeah,
no.
definitely
Someone
the two,
build this item, please.
the
No,
mana,
Nico's got it. I didn't see him.
definitely the mana crystals though, for both the tier and the last chapter later, will make Rice happy. I guess he just wants the quarter like. It's rough to say that's combat stats, but that's combat stats. He wants the combat stats right now.
And I was just hoping that maybe someone could tell us.
I mean,
Uh,
double
God,
longsword, double longsword is basically like double mana crystal for Rise, right?
I don't know. I just don't know what items build into Lost Chapter.
Well, I guess he built into none of those because he picked up.
I have just remembered of my own accord that it builds out of 2 amp tomes and 1 mana crystal.
Okay, there we go. So one is for the for the last chapter, and one is for the tier. Okay.
Okay, but
He's going.
I guess
going,
it gives you more early damage to go for 2 tiers, right? But
it kind of reminds me of the jungle builds that used to be like
double Doran's Blade.
like 4 long swords.
Do you not remember Doran's Blade junglers?
Oh,
Those are days. Like Lee Sin with 2 Doran's Blades or whatever, but now we see some action here, and Plex is on the wrong side, sorry, ZA, wrong side of the lane, but is trying to find the escape. Nice flash behind, will secure the 1v2 kill.
Yeah, you can't mess with it earlier. Beishang just coming in, doesn't even get an assist somehow.
No, he was mid-air on the dash, but I really hope we can get a replay of that. It was just beautiful.
That's got a Dragon's Rage kick.
Yeah,
I know it doesn't help now, but he does it. He does.
That's the option.
Yeah, but the Aurelia getting the kill, it's gonna net her some decent advantage in the lane. Already has the TR mod completed for the wave clear, and you know it's just gonna do well from now on.
Yeah, you're okay with it. It's a pretty nice item to pick up on the Aurelia. But now TPO from Sivir looks like they want to fight. Now Nico with the flank and the pop bottom is not going to find anyone, but it's fine because Plex got him first. Now the Rise ult gets one out, but Zia, it dies too quickly. No one there. A follow up, but still some free kills from LNG.
Yeah, that's 2 for them, and that is going to be just the kill back on the Aurelia. That finally happened. Plex actually used that Dragon's Rage kick, so it wasn't completely irrelevant.
Hey, good job.
And yeah, Silas just built a Seeker's Arm Guard, of course, first, just to combat the AD matchup. And it start. Okay, there we have some.
Oh, great work, guys.
Yeah, fancy camera work with 3 FPS.
Yeah, it's my favorite. But just the way he flashes out of the instead, positioning to throw at the escape backwards and then flashing out of the chains. Good time. Be healing age rocks. Any damage that you can avoid is just making you have such a good time.
Yeah. And Plex is actually delaying the pickup of any items that build towards the proto belt for quite a long time now. Has picked up boots, has picked up corrupting pots, has picked up a Doran's ring, has picked up the Dark Seal. I hesitate to say it, but I kind of feel like he's wasting some gold here, especially on that Doran's ring. I'd much rather see him on his way to his first item.
Well, they're giving him nice stats right now. Right? You think about
that's an instant finish on the Zhonya's. So
does your stream look good? Because mine froze like the exact second you said that. Someone died.
Yeah.
Play by play.
Yeah.
No, it's back now. But it was frozen from basically the moment you said that.
Yeah.
Okay. I finished the Zhonya's. Oh, there's also a fight or something. Yeah, he's doing something. All right, you got out. Nice. Good job, mate.
Yeah, but
Um,
yeah, finished
okay.
Sonya's very early. Um, I'm I'm shocked, kind of. Like on the one hand, sure, there's a bunch of 80 damage on the side of Team W, but I just don't think you need it this early. I think you'd much rather have the little extra wave clear, have the extra dive potential of the proto belt.
Sure. It is very useful though when it comes to the 1v1 specifically with Aurelia because you're dodging her ult or her stun, really helping to deny out her marks, but
Mm.
Mystic might not be in the best of situations here. Looks like that is Nico, not Sivir. And we'll see the binding coming out. And now here's
Pop.
the Pop Blossom. Oh, a nice
Oh!
push back. Condemned denying that one, but it's not enough to save Mystic's life. And now GA probably in a spot he does not want to be in. Does not get the reset on the Blade Surge. Does not have the ultimate either.
Flounder is not going to let
And now
GA
this
away.
dive. Yeah, it's starting up. He tries to find one stun, tries to dash on out, but not quite enough. He will fall, and now it's two under the tower. SFM doesn't have ult, and now the Rise is here to party. How much damage he can dish out? The answer is not too much, because the root will keep him away, but Missing is able to snipe out one with the help of the tower.
Yeah, we just saw the interactions between like Beishang on the Lee Sin and Missing on the Yumi, just being able to dash to each other and just being able to dash all over the place, helping people out. That netted them one kill, but LNG with a clean die, 3-0-1 on Plex right now. He's so far ahead of the curve when it comes to his items right now,
He's
and
having a pretty good time.
yeah, like he has all the utility items and the Zonyas and the sword boots.
He's still not
He's
building towards the Proto Belt, though. He just picked up a Mana Crystal. But if we just see this fight again, Mystic just not... Literally running in circles. Like a headless chicken. Taking a bit of extra time
yeah.
on that cleanse as well. And
He
as
just didn't
such,
expect Flounder to be around, honestly.
yeah, so that was a nice TP.
And
And we get back to
yeah,
the
on
dive.
the tower, it's just clean. Like Plex tanking the tower as the tankiest member, easy pickup, and yeah, Flounder on the backside, getting a bunch of damage down and is gonna get taken out. But honestly, it doesn't really matter that much. The important thing is Plex got the kills. Plex has the gold. I'm repeating myself, so I'm gonna let you talk.
Plex, yes, agreed. Well, speaking of Plex, I want to know what he's building. Is he going for the... straight into the... what do you call it now? The Lich Bane? He's just ignoring the Proto Belt entirely?
I guess he could go for a Sheen or something.
Could be
I'm
possible. I'm trying to think if there's
I'm
any
out of
lost
my depth.
chapter.
I'm out of my depth at this point.
Yeah.
He did go
He
for
might
the
be...
aftershock. To be fair,
Yeah, he might be looking for the Ludens. Still a very nice item. On
Mm,
Silas, could be the option, could be the pickup.
yeah.
But then I feel like you probably get that before the Zonias. Because Zonia's Lichbane is a very in-your-face build.
Mm.
That's aggressive. But now, yeah, the binding connects, and so
Ooh.
the damage comes out. Beishan kept just alive. And again, the Yumi ult not quite finding the targets. However, World Ender has popped. And so we have to look for the reset. If he doesn't get it, it doesn't matter because he did. And Duan found the kill onto Missing. Now Beishang trying to kick away Asuri. He's going so low. Can he find the kill? No, he can't. There's no heal. GA now very low, putting in the 1v2 situation. Black stashing on in, looking to find something. The flash from the chains might be enough, but now here comes the other set of chains. A lot of chains on this team comp here. And Asura goes ahead to grab the kill.
There's nowhere you're safe from LNG. They're tanky. They can hunt you down with the Siverold, with the Nico slows. You you just can't run. You have to fight, and they can't fight right now because they're just not up in the items. Let's look at this again. Just caught on that light binding. Absolutely
Just the
getting
edge.
crushed. Beishang is immediately out of the fight. Then Mystic out of position, also out of the fight, has to run. GA on the backside is just going to try to see what the 1v1 is against Plex. It's not looking well. So overall, they're just losing over and over all over the place.
Yeah, it goes to red best. Securing that little
Yeah.
kill there. I was thinking maybe there was room for some fat Lee Sin play with a big Yumi heal, because Yumi heal is pretty hefty, especially with the Athenes. So I personally think that Athenes is the problem with Yumi. And her Q is just kind of guaranteed. It's the way her Q interacts with her E and her Athenes and everything. But Maybe they could have pulled that one out, but yeah, the day did not happen. 2 kills were secured, and now a scoreline 9-2 in favor of LNG. No deaths on
Yeah.
the bottom half of the map. Is
Like, what did I say before the game? Hey, play a bit more of an early game and try to be ahead by 5,000 gold by 20 minutes. Well, they're looking to make it 6,000 right now.
yeah, it's looking decent, but it is worth noting that, of course, you have the 0-0-0 rise up in the top lane if you're WE. Frankly, that's the
Flandre,
kind of rise that. Wait, hang on, buddy, that's a lot of AP.
Flandre.
That's a lot of damage. That's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's out, but yeah, Flandre is just you know he's cocky and he's allowed to be.
Yeah, he's having a good time, but of course, going for that AP build.
To be fair, that is his playstyle. Like, if Flandre doesn't go big, he goes home.
All right, well, let's see actually what he ends up going for. Because the issue I'm having here is I feel like you do start to get a little bit AP heavy because it's the glacial Nico. The problem with glacial builds is you tend to get a little bit less damage. And now we see Plex is building pretty high damage as he goes for the Ludens. So heavy amount of MR stacking could make Flandre not too hot.
Yeah, but who? There is no main tank on WE. Is the problem? Like, nobody actually wants to build magic resist on that team, other than I guess
you're okay with Moors, right?
Yeah, but I don't think you want to take away from the time it takes to get your 3 items from Mystic, and GA is much better off not going for that either, I think.
Yeah, true. We have to see how Scorn goes out, as the Ludens has now been finished, as well as both of the glacial items for Flandre. So very heavy spikes for LNG, but really, they've been spiking for a while now.
Yeah, they're about to hit the spike of Azura as well. They're already like 1,500 gold, like on the cart right now. They're 1,500 gold off. I don't know how much gold Azura has in his pocket, so that might even be less to the Infinity Edge.
Yeah, I think he's probably got enough to finish it off now. I do like the Brawlers pickup. It's something to fill the slot. Just get it early. It's not an item you just see very often being picked up, but crit is so important on Sivir, obviously, because of how the W interacts with the crit. So just a little bit is going to give you a lot.
W crits.
Yeah.
Bounces crit. And if the first bounce crits, all of them.
They all crit. Yeah.
To be fair,
then it's a real good time.
I mean, it doesn't actually really matter because it still means the same amount of crits. It just means that if you do crit, you crit hard.
Yeah. It's so important that you want that chance that you do crit. Now, else that was going on. A little bit of action hanging around in the mid lane. Oh, sorry, around that red buff, but not really too much to say, really. You walk up, you get hit by a binding, you die. It kind of how Legend League works. But
yeah,
with I think Sivir was literally not a champion for like 4 or 5 seasons until Riot buffed it so that if one crit, they all crit. And then suddenly,
yeah,
she's just been in and out of meta every couple of patches. But now, bit of action. Oh, all right, never mind.
Yeah. She was sometimes played in season 2, I remember, but not even close to the same extent. To after her rework.
All right, well, now Poss caught a little bit out. Is there going to be a kick to try and save him? Beishang says, nah, mate, you're all right. Tries to run away, but the binding is going to secure Duan. Beishang not looking to help out too much in that situation. He doesn't want to risk it.
LNG just has so much vision right now. Look at.
Sorry, just really quick. What is that guy on the left?
He's the.
Is that the Colonel you're
on? The Robo Colonel. I call him.
Oh, he actually is. He actually is KFC.
Yeah.
That's.
The LPL is sponsored by KFC.
That's China for you. How can we make KFC? How can we improve our KFC brand? Just make him into a robot. People love robots. Yeah. You'll eat that up, Oh lordy.
Yeah, but Ollie, where was I? You brought me out of it. I hate you now.
Yeah. Something about Sivir in season 2.
No, I had a point after that, but whatever. Oh yeah, LNG has so much map control, and look.
True.
I wanted to say, look at how many wards they have in that red side jungle for WE. but
None.
those have been cleared now. So
Yeah.
I'm stranded, and it's all your fault.
All right. Sorry. My bad. Well, they've now got 2 pinks. Check out their jungle. They've also got a pink placed right next to the tower, but it's undefendable. Would have seen anything put on that corner there, which is probably why they placed it, but I feel like this game's a little bit done for WE, right? The game they won because they had a really strong early start. This one they
The
don't.
thing is, LNG still has to win, and
This to an undefeated team, that doesn't seem like a tall order.
well, I mean, we've seen a bunch of tries to win this series, and only one has succeeded, whereas a lot of them have actually failed. Because like game one, they should have had the game like at multiple points and just didn't.
Yeah, true.
And W came back over and over. And if they let W get to 35 minutes, then trouble. It's just, how is that happening?
Yeah,
Well,
that play's happening through a lot of realm warps coming out at once, and I mean, even if you're Rise, even with the realm warp, you're just not safe from Twin Shadows, unless you time it perfectly. Because I think you can juke it like that. So say the shadow is cut, if you teleport out just before the shadow hits, you do technically like disappear from the game for half a second. I know this because I very painfully tried to viol a Rise and it didn't work. Because he just zipped out of existence. But that's probably something that Poss isn't going to pull off in this game.
I think actually the Viol is interrupted because he's too far away after that.
No, it's once the Viol starts, it stops. Like it never stops you. It follows everything.
Well, I mean,
it's just he stops existing. So not.
It doesn't follow. Like, just imagine that. Like going from.
Yeah, it would be hilarious. That's why they should put it in.
Like,
it follows.
That's the old season 2 like Lee Sin Q to the base. Like that was a thing, but like
it follows every what do you call it? Like Lantern and LeBlanc W and whatnot. Just the issue with Rise is that he vips out of existence.
It doesn't follow Shenol.
It's definitely not. I think it does.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
I want to test that now. I have no idea. I know it's not. It's not capped by distance. The thing is, Akali follows Shenol.
I think not anymore, actually.
No, I saw a clip of it on Reddit, like.
Yeah, right when she came
2
out.
weeks. No, like 2-3 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
anyway, no, maybe they're
LNG's
following
taking
TP.
Baron.
Whatever.
LNG's taking Baron, and that might be a bit more important.
No, they're not. They're taking Mystic. He's gonna flash over the wall. He's gonna fall.
Ow!
Yeah. That's a big Aurelia going out. But not from Aurelia. This time coming out from Vasilis.
That hurts in the soul, not in the body.
Yeah, it's not great, but Baron will now promptly be restarted once the Twin Shadows have secured a couple of kills there. Always a nice item. Saw an Ezreal build it yesterday. Don't know if that's a thing, but worked pretty well. And now, again, they don't have to peel off the Baron, but yeah, we can get some more kills.
And pop.
Yeah, and they do. There's not too much to say. Actually, they did peel off the Baron. I didn't realize that 2 people stayed on it.
Azra and SFM just finish it off.
Okay, good for them.
Pop's got some turrets, bot lane, doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay with it. Like,
I mean, let's be serious. It might come back to bite them.
It really might, but they're probably okay with it for now.
I'm always told like keep the tension up, but like, I'm always annoyed when people do that. So
What? Try and be like, oh, but maybe they can come back.
Yeah. I mean, let's theorize. Like, what did they need to come back? Well, they need to
be better players.
They need to not lose an inhibitor in the next 8 minutes.
Yeah, they need to not be 10k gold down. They don't need to be better players at all. Actually, they're pretty decent, but they do need to not be in this situation that they have now got themselves into.
Yeah, honestly, this is looking much more like the WE from spring, and that should be something that they
an insult or a compliment.
That's a compliment. They made playoffs.
Ah, okay.
They're in 8th place.
It's like they're looking a lot like they did last year. It's like, oh yeah, they're down 10k. That's 12k. So is that really what last year? Last year,
I mean, LNG is
season.
one of the top teams of the league.
Sure.
And
they're tied, right?
And then they had 2. Huh?
Are they tied?
Who's tied?
LNG. They're not the only undefeated team, right?
No, they're not the only undefeated team. Uh, but yeah, WWE had 2 games back to back where they showed us that they can hang with LNG for a long time. This game has been less so, but I'm hopeful. We've seen the glimpses of Post doing some better stuff now. Sure, he still didn't have a great series overall, but yeah, Mystic is completely back. GA had some decent plays. Beishang was decent in the early game. Like, this is the WE I know, other than Post not being that good.
Yeah, I mean, even in this game, Post hasn't been terrible. He's done what he had to do, but whilst he was just playing Rise, scaling up and farming, Flanger was out getting leads for the team. And then you see how this has obviously turned into this situation. 2 inhibs have fallen. Now the third soon to drop as the wave comes on in.
Yeah, the thing is just Post used to be a carry. Is the point here?
Unfortunately, not in this game. And now this looks like it's going to be the final fight. Just who's going to start with the Twin Shadows, putting out a lot of slow there. And now we'll look for the insect, and it's going to be onto the primary carry. They will drop promptly, and this could be a decent one for WEGA. Also able to find some kills, but just not quite enough people dropping down. It's a 4 versus 3. Post trying to dish out damage, but again, it's not quite enough. And whilst this is going on, Flandre looks for the Nexus. Can anyone see him to stop this one out? We look for the flawless duet. It's not going to land. The Nexus will be destroyed, and LNG take the series 2-1.
Taking no prisoners, not fooling around. They just take the Nexus and secure the 2-1 victory over WE. And yeah, this was a lot closer than I thought throughout the series. But overall, LNG, I think, has shown that they're the better team here.
Yeah, this is really definitely one of those series. Like I said, it's very close. It's very back and forth, but it's not one where you can argue. It's like, oh, but did the better team really win? People looked at MSI and like, oh well, I mean, G2 didn't play IG in a best of series, so did the better team really win? And this is one that's like, it's back and forth, it's all over the place, but you can confidently say LNG deserved the series.
Yeah, for sure. Big shout outs, of course, to Plex in that mid lane. I was hesitant to call him like a true carry for the team after the first couple of weeks. He had some decent performances. He put up numbers, but I kind of felt like the numbers lied. I kind of felt like Flandre was the main carry for the team and it was doing like much more than Plex. This series, he's shown me that he can hang with good mid laners and he can actually carry his team.
Yeah, definitely a man you want to keep your eye on. And I think it's interesting that across each of the games, somebody else stepped up in each match. In the first one, it was all about Flandre on that Akali, just absolutely popping up in the top lane. Game 2, it was sort of Mystic and Plex a little bit working together there. And then here, back in Game 3, it's Plex once again. And even Duan on that Lux, every time he got it, was just really managing to get some just clutch bindings all the time. Every time he throws them out, someone's losing 70%.
Yeah. Overall, great series for him.
Except for the Galio game. We don't talk about that.
That's pretty much all.
I think yeah, not too much left from us. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We're now going to go ahead and throw it on over to Ray to break down that final game of this final series today.